Put down the hammer, and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show, yeah. Real estate info galore, so listen up, don't miss it. Hosted by the Savvy Landlord,
Death of your success or growth with the lack of sense of urgency. Got to take a deep breath on this one. Why do you have to breathe, Van Kallenberg? Well, the reason is there's a lot of folks that are not getting it done because they have no sense of urgency. I'm serious. And it's been driving me crazy that the lack of motivation, I don't know if motivation or urgency, but here's the thing. If you're going to be a real estate investor, hopefully you are, that's the main reason why you're listening to this podcast, or a hustler or an entrepreneur of sorts. And I'm telling you right now, a real entrepreneur has a sense of urgency. Just think of Mark Cuban. Watch the Shark Tank. The dude's like fidgety, ready to get it done. Let's get it done. Let's sign the deal. Let's move on, close it out, do something. You have got to be radical. You got to be motivated. You got to have a sense of urgency. So I'm helping this young little investor out, giving him some love. And I'm like, here's a deal that I have. And he would take a day to jump on it. No, if there's an opportunity, you've got to have a sense of urgency. When you don't have a sense of urgency, you lose money. For example, I used to be involved in clubs and DJing and stuff. And one of the number one clubs in Oklahoma City called me and said, hey, I know you don't DJ anymore, but do you know who can DJ for an event for us? And I was like, no problem. Boom. This dude bought the company. I know him. Let me hook him up. I get the club owner's cell phone number. I text the dude. I'm like, hey, this is your dream job. You want to work at this club. It's set up. The next day I see the guy and I'm like, yo, bro, how'd it go? Did you get the gig? Oh, I haven't had a chance. Let me say it again. Excuses are murder. I haven't had a chance to call. No, you do have a chance. You just do not have a sense of urgency. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all ages around the effing world, get off your ASS, pick up the phone, call somebody back, make it happen. You are missing opportunities. When you're a real entrepreneur, and if you don't eat tonight, if you don't make a sale, I think the sense of urgency comes over you. Like, I want to eat. That's why I call people back. I want to deal. That's why I vet it out and make an offer. Here's another one. I'm on the property the other day, and I'm going to do a best deal on this one. I'm on a property. I get it from a bird dog. He says, hey, this is a deal. Check it out. Call the individual. Boom. It is a deal. I was like, when can you show it? Sense of urgency. When can you? She's like, I can be there in an hour. Guess what? Was I there? Absolutely. Was it easy? No. But people wonder, how do you get all these deals? Sense of urgency. Bang, bang, bang. Clap it up. Bang, bang, bang. You got to get on it. Opportunity cost. If you're like a super duper business owner, you got this thing called opportunity cost. What is that? Things that cost you money because you fooling around doing something else. For example, at one time I had a bunch of rehabs going and I was like, yeah, I'm cool. Everybody look at me. I got 7 rehabs. I'm baller. Yeah, no, you're not. Because what happened was I had 7 rehabs going, but my other rentals were failing. When I added it all up, I was actually losing tremendous amount of money. If I would have just focused on one thing, I would have jumped on it. Another opportunity loss is like you're fooling around, spray painting something, opportunity you're stepping over dimes to pick up pennies. You should just be focused on what you're doing and do it well and only do that. All right. So how do you create a sense of urgency? Well, first of all, for a buyer, you got to create, if someone's trying to buy your property, you got to create a sense of urgency and say things like, whoa, this will not last. I had a few calls on the situation. I need to know where you at with this. You create a sense of urgency with a buyer. With renters, create a sense of urgency with renters. Ma'am, I'm showing this tonight at 7:00. I've had a few calls. Hopefully you can make it to the showing. But if I was you, I would definitely recommend filling out an application. The law says first one that fills out the application and puts a deposit down, They're the ones that need to rent the property. If both people put in an application but no one puts a deposit down, I can't hold it for any of you. But if the first person that with the deposit in the application wins, create a sense of urgency. Sellers, hey, I need to know if we're going to do this deal. I'm trying to buy this property, but I have another deal pending and I really want to close the deal with you. Here's my favorite that I use with wholesalers. Hey, I'm closing another deal this week. I want to make sure, or this month, I have another deal in the pipeline. I want to make sure that I have enough funds so I don't mess up with the closing. I know that you have to close at a specific time. I'll even say things like, hey, man, when is your closing date? I want to make sure I hit it and make sure I do it right. Listen to this quote. I got this from Michael Hyatt. It says, urgency is a mindset, not a process. You can't just get into it. You got to have a mindset. Get it done. Clap your hands. Get it done. We got to move forward. Since, urgency is a mindset, not a process, and too much process, high C's out there, will slow you down. All right. So when I was helping this young kid investor out, trying to work with him, trying to get him to the next level, he wants to go to the next level, but he just didn't have the sense of urgency. So I was like, look, I'm going to do a podcast on this dude because there's a lot of people like you in society that cry and complain. There's no sense of, that they don't get deals because I believe that you're not creating a sense of urgency. And so I Googled it up. I found some articles, but I did come across this article over and over again. There's 4 things that create a sense of urgency. Michael Hyatt, I don't know if he coined it. Google him up, Hayatt. But I found another article that ripped off this guy, and I know it's this guy, so we're just going to give him all the credit. So there's 4 things: activate, accelerate, achieve, and assess. Let's break them down. Activate. Often the real issue is courage. Now, I'm human, okay? Everybody's human, but you got to get the gumption. You got to get the courage. You got to do it. And so it doesn't come easy for everybody, but you just don't want to assume that things just happen. You have to make them happen. You got to take a step forward. Urgency requires that you activate it, and you activate it quickly. I love Jim Rohn, and he says the law of diminishing intent. Law of diminishing intent. Okay, I'm a hustler, so I can't speak well. First of all, you got to make a decision. That's the big problem. But the law of diminishing intent, man, we're talking about weight loss. We're talking about this. Go down and right there, do 50 sit-ups. For real. I'm running this marathon right now. It's drama. It's hard. It's not easy. I want to give up, but I go run. Now, I want to run 10 miles. Yeah, sure, you do. Everybody wants to run 10. But you got to start with a half a mile, a block, whatever it is. Get up, get your damn shoes on, and get on the team. Activate. Law of diminishing intent. Get off the dime. Do something. Accelerate. Urgency requires more than just doing it. Activation. Yes, you got to start quickly. You got to jump on it, but you also got to keep moving. Also, if you listen to Darren Harding or read his book, Compound Effect, but inertia, momentum, big M, big Mo is what a lot of people call it. It keeps you moving towards the goal. So you activate it, you accelerate it, keep pushing it. And it's kind of cool because I know this, I'm right in the middle of this marathon, but I was running this, I'm preparing for this half marathon that's coming on April 30th, Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial Marathon, Run to Remember. Oh no, let you know you got to jump on my team. I'd love for you to run with me. Let's get the Savvy crew all together. If you have any inclination, you got 2 months, you want to be pushed, come down. But when I'm running this deal, it's killing me. I'm climbing these mountains. And I was like, man, I can do well with real estate. I can do well with discipline with money, but why can't I not discipline with the food because I'm fat? Why can't I run? Why can't I maintain? Why am I chubbed out? How can I make this better? And I realized when you get to a certain point with real estate, the hardest part is finding the deal. People say the hardest part is getting the money. No, the money is always there. You just are not trained to understand how to get the money. But I realized you find the deal is the hardest, I think, okay? Then you fund it, which some people think is the hardest. No big deal for me. But then you got to maintain the asset. You got to maintain the running. You can't run a 12-minute mile or a 13-mile race without maintaining. If I just ran it once and then waited a year later, I'm going to get injured. I'm going to break myself. Well, that's what you got to do. You got to activate. 1, 2, you got to accelerate. And I say maintain. Number 3, achieve. You got to achieve. You got to cultivate the sense of urgency about producing results. I am a result-driven person. The great thing is that you can guide it, gauge it, mark it off your calendar. You hit that goal. All that stuff produces results, paperwork, approvals, processes, systems, and budgets. But in the end themselves, they're only the means to the end. You've got to achieve. You got to set a goal so you don't get lost. So like my goal right now is to run this marathon. Sense of urgency. Look, I got 2 months on my phone. I got a time clicker. Then you got to set a goal like, I have this goal and this happens and this goal happens. You got to achieve something to keep your sense of urgency rolling. Now, number 4 and the final. Thank you, Michael Hyatt, for writing this jazz, because this ain't me. This is just a little commentary in between. Urgency does not rule out assessment. I think when you assess, the other day I'm so focused on my goal. It's February. At the end of February, I'm 2 months in the deal of 2017. I'm going to make this a banner year, all in. You heard my goals already. I did them. If you haven't heard my goals, listen to a couple episodes back. I just broke them off, all authentic. I don't know if it's authentic, but just let it all out. And one of them is a marathon. But I realized I haven't even looked at my goals every day. You got to look at your goals, but you got to assess, you got to review, and you got to be honest. And I'm honest with myself right now. I am doing no good with the food. Okay, I love a margarita. I'm all in it. But, to sense of urgency demands that you assess of where you're going. And if you want faster results, you want to see how fast you've been to where you've gone, or you could see how fast your bank account has depleted. If you just keep writing checks and not knowing where the money's coming from or where it's going, you're not assessing the situation, and what's going to happen? You're going to sink. So, did you get it? Good. Now, check this out. You got to, 1, let's do it one more time. Activate, accelerate, achieve. So 1, activate. 2, accelerate. 3, achieve. 4, assess. Boom. Now, how do I get my ball rolling? Again, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm repeating myself because everybody, we need a sense of urgency. I think we're just lackadaisical people. Oh, the government's going to take care of me. Oh, I'm going to worry about it when I'm 50. I'm going to party right now. I'm going to get high right now, but I'm going to work out later. Whack and dumb. Urgency is a mindset, not a process. It's something that you don't have to just do later, or I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to do these things. No, a sense of urgency is right now. Clap your hands right now. Okay. Here's some things to get the ball rolling. And all this is from Michael Hyatt. So just Google up how to create a sense of urgency, and this stuff will pull up. Cut and paste this stuff, put it in your face, and get the ball rolling. Walk faster, show some hustle. That's how you get motivated. I actually do this to myself. I'll be walking to the mall, or I'll go to the grocery store. I just pick up the pace. That's right. Pick up the pace. You walk a little bit faster, and things just, first of all, people think you're important. I guess that dude's important. He's got somewhere to go. Absolutely. I'm important. I'm a CEO of some company. I'm CEO of the Van Callenberg Party. We got to make it happen. Also, start responding to emails and voicemails faster. I cannot tell you about that dude that lost that DJ gig. I don't know if he even got the gig, but I texted him a while back. Dude, hey, he doesn't even text me back. I mean, the other day I saw some shoes. He's like, oh, man, I don't even text the guy no more because he doesn't text back. When he does, it's 3 or 4 days later. Create a sense of urgency with your text messages. Respond back. Sorry, I can't answer you right now, but I'll get back to you later. Don't allow yourself or someone else for excuses. You need to get that stuff done. Get to the point quickly. That's what I'm trying to do here. Drag this out, trying to make a 20-minute podcast. No, get to the point. I think that's why this show is successful. I don't tell you all about who I am and what I'm doing. You're tuning in. You only got 15, 20 minutes, maybe in between car rides, working out. Keep it to the point. Keep it short. Keep meetings short and on point. Have an agenda. That's my favorite thing. Here's the 5 things we're going to talk about. We're going to knock them out, and we out. Simple. Be quick. When you make a mistake, move on. You learn from it. Boom. Another thing, identify what's holding you back and remove it fast. Don't let it linger on. If you're not really good at accounting, don't be beating yourself up or trying to go take accounting classes. Look, I suck at accounting. I need to find someone who's good at accounting. Exhibit urgency in your body language. Like I said, clap your hands, move stuff around, get the ball, get the flood, get your hand, get moving around, get up, sit down, make movement. When you make movement, the ball will start rolling and you start moving it. Here's one of my tricks that I do. I do a personal deadlines in my calendar. So I want something done. I put it on the calendar. Like I don't know if I said this before, but years ago when I was dating, 6 months out, like, so it's January 1, by June, July, I like, hey, is this the girl I want to be with? Boom. 10 a.m. on June 15th. Hey, is she the one that's going to bear the children? Is she's the one that's I can go the distance with? Am I in love with her? Do I want to marry her? Is she's everything I wondered or wanted in my whole life? I ask myself those questions, a deadline, and then if she's no, boom, move on. No disrespect, I'm dragging it out. I'm taking away her opportunity for her man, and vice versa. And then ultimately do it now. Go do it. Do it right now. Hopefully, as soon as you get done with this podcast, you're on the treadmill, get off right now. Write that note down. Put it in your phone. 3 o'clock today, I'm going to do this. Do it now. Remember, urgency is a mindset, not a process. My name is Steve Van Kallenberg. Yep, that's right. You listen to it. thesavvyradioshow.com. We got other episodes. Hopefully, this inspires you. Text your boy. Let me know that you're down. Also, let me know what subjects that you're struggling with. And I would love to help you in whatever I can.
Investor Weekend is not far off, with over 10 information sessions to increase your portfolio. Log on to www.investorweekend.com. Whether you are a seasoned investor or never purchased a property before, you don't want to miss the Investor Weekend. Join us for a powerful, knowledge-packed weekend with over 10 informational sessions that are bound to enlarge your real estate investments. You will hear from the best national and local real estate investors that will share practical and relevant experiences with you, the investor. There will be several networking sessions to connect with other like-minded people for potential funding, partnerships, and yes, hot deals. Go to www.investorweekend.com. Did you know we meet once a month for the Landlord Lunch Meeting? The third Wednesday of every month. Go to landlordlunch.com.
Thanks for listening to The Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.